Two real quick things before we jump into it. Probably streaming on Twitch if you want to come hang out. Links in the description below. Would love to see you stop by. And my G Fuel code is 30% off until the 26th if you're interested. So yesterday we didn't have video go live here up on the channel, which I don't normally skip days too often, but I'm not gonna lie, I was hoping to discuss the community update with you all, since it seemed like the first week after their announcement, maybe there'd be something substantial for the community to digest. I mean, after all, we're a month now past our last title update at this point, that meaning that we haven't had any new content, no new bug fixes really outside of things that could have been adjusted in playlist updates, and everything in between to keep us moving along. It's just been the same old, except we didn't really get anything out of that community update that we got, and it was honestly pretty upsetting. On top of that update going out at 9 p.m., far later than when my videos are normally up. So I was pretty frustrated about that. I could have planned a backup, but hoping for the best, so I figured we discussed that community update. So as each passing hour passed by, it pushed back time and when I'd be starting a video even further, so it just didn't happen. So here we are today. I want to recap with you guys this community update, get some things off my chest, and I suppose afterwards we can talk a little bit about what we can expect with this upcoming mentioned update as for next week. But that said, let me know your thoughts below, and if you're new, maybe considering that subscribe button if you want to stay up to date with all things Modern Warfare. But let's get into it. So like we said, at 9 p.m. Eastern, a full 8 hours after things normally go live for Call of Duty related items. During that time, I was sitting in a call with Immortal and a few other creators, and I jokingly was like, watch, we're gonna be waiting all day for this. It's gonna be a copy and paste of what we already saw throughout the week, and sure enough, it actually was. We got the following community update from Infinity Ward, which, to save you the long-winded read of it all, it was about Shoot House 24/7 returning, same day delivery and Gunfight 3v3 being added in, the announcement of Season 1 being extended, the challenges and crossbows that will come along with the delay of Season 2, double XP and double weapon XP happening this weekend, and a tier event happening in the near future, a developer diary announcement, the reiteration of the Trello board that was announced last Friday, not even this week, and the switch made for the Outback bundle to the Outback Relief to help the Australian bushfires. There were 7 total talking points in this blog post, and 6 of them were entirely rehashed. We had a total of 1 sentence that was new in this community update that we hadn't seen before that said, we've also been working on an update that we're looking to publish to all platforms next week, so be sure to keep an eye out for patch notes. But this community update series was meant to be a series to bridge the gap between studio and community, a series that was supposed to be the communication that we'd been longing for. Not only that, but I also don't understand why it took a full work day behind when things are normally scheduled to go up, 8 hours comparative to normal release times. I always try to be the most understanding of all sides of any situation because oftentimes I'm just a bystander. I'm ignorant to the behind the scenes and day-to-day operational items of a studio. I just play video games and talk about them, but I do struggle to understand how one new sentence took 8 hours to craft. I don't know, man. I really hate complaining about stuff, but I don't get it. The alpha and the beta, it was daily posts from an official capacity. Pre-launch, it was daily. Even at launch, I'm pretty sure we got a bit of communication, but right now it's basically radio silent. Joel Emsley on Reddit is basically the only things that we have to give us insight into what's happening behind the scenes. It's been a month and we have genuine problems in the game. And I'm not talking about things that, like it or not, probably won't be changed, like skill-based matchmaking, lobby redistribution, map design of current maps, mini-map and perk design intents, but like actual wall and map exploits, challenge tracking and progression errors, player collisions, slide cancel exploits, player name icon visibility, clipping errors on various maps, skydive bugs on Tovorsk District, and that's just to name a few. I was hoping that with a series dedicated to communication, we'd get at least some new discussion and acknowledgement of what's needed to be addressed. And yes, sure, that Trello board that they set up mentions all this stuff, and it is 1000% helpful. If you guys haven't checked that out, I definitely entirely recommend going and looking at it. But like, anything for a community update but a near actual copy and paste job of stuff that's already been said throughout the week. I just feel like this is an absolute bare minimum for a community update to put out. It's almost like, well, we don't have anything new to say, but we said we're going to put something out, so let's literally just copy and paste. Let's just reword things and put it up there and say it's a new thing. I don't know. Maybe we'll be seeing more meaningful community updates in the future, but for now, I'm just kind of bummed about this one. But anyways, we did get that one new line of information that comes as of we've also been working on an update that we're looking to publish to all platforms next week, so be sure to keep an eye out for patch notes, to which I do kind of want to talk about this. Timing-wise, we don't really have any answer as to when it could be in next week. One would guess Tuesday, but it seems like recently they've abandoned basically everything that we know about patterns in terms of marketing and releases. So I'm going to suggest Tuesday very loosely with that. It easily could be Wednesday, easily could be Thursday, could be Friday. We just have no idea. Next week is all we've got. This also seems probably to be the big update that Joe Secott mentioned now 2 weeks ago, so just a little bit behind that initial suggestion time. But we surprisingly have a solid understanding, though, of the technical adjustments that will be coming with this update. Though, if there's things like weapon tuning, the crossbow and subsequent challenges, or perhaps even new maps and other content pertaining to overall MP and Spec Ops play, we have zero idea about that stuff just yet. But coming back to that Trello board, we can see that there's actually a handful of items that have been marked off as green, meaning that they've already been fixed. They have a change coming within the next update. Those including players being able to capture the hardpoint while in the Hotel of St. Petrograd, the cruise missile being able to kill players while out of bounds on shipment, players being able to cancel the recovery state while sliding, various fixes for exploits and graphical errors in ground war, meaning out of the map exploits and behind walls, glitching into that kind of stuff. So thankfully that's being fixed out. The killing bush in Port of Verdansk that will kill you if you walk into it, that's been fixed. Player collision, thank God that's been fixed. Players unable to take or give damage, unable to capture flags, or not having a name tag, which is kind of an oddball God mode bug that I've seen very sparingly, but I have seen it out there, so that's been fixed out as well. So you can expect those kind of things for sure to be fixed. But again, as for the other stuff that we may end up seeing in terms of if we get new maps, if we get new modes, if we get new content added in, that's something that we'll just have to wait and see. I would imagine that we end up seeing the crossbow and the challenge that will come along with that one this upcoming week, but don't quote me on that. With, at the time of this update, only around 3 weeks left, depending on when it drops, I don't know that I would expect another major content drop if this comes along, so to me, that'd be the best time that we'd end up seeing a new weapon drop and the challenges for it, especially if they're locked to Season 1. I don't think that will actually happen. I don't think that these will be locked specifically to Season 1. And we talked in the past before when Season 1 first launched that we talked to developers and they said that they weren't really looking to lock weapons to a season like we saw with, say, the OG variant in the preseason or Season 0 155 rank. The overall new weapons don't look to have that happen, so I can't imagine that would be the case. But what happens afterwards of this season currently, though, for, say, the crossbow and a challenge that would come along with that, it's still a mystery. We don't have any information on that because this is entirely new to us. But if that's also the case with a new weapon and new content coming, well then who's to say that we don't get another map or two, and again following that same logic. I'm honestly not going to be expecting to see a handful of new maps 1 week before Season 2 drops because that'd be too close to the big drop, air quote, on that of Season 2, even though truthfully I wouldn't object to having maps dropped on a weekly basis like that, but I just don't think that it would happen. So if we do get another update with maps for Season 1, I'm expecting this to likely be the time that we see that happen as well. But again, as we talked about, I have absolutely no idea. That's contingent upon them actually dropping more maps, assuming there are more maps in the Season 1 pipeline. Another item of interest now, though, that we discuss content that could potentially come is that of extra custom class slots to play around with. And that, honestly, I don't know if it will happen, but I'm really hoping that it does come in this week. They said the end of January is when they'll add in more here with that, so if that's the case, this is likely to be the only title update for the remainder of January, with, again, if there is that last second update for Season 1 a week before Season 2, that'd be in February. So here's to hoping that it isn't delayed in any capacity, because I'm tired of having to swap weapons when I want to use different loadouts. I'm all for new class selections and slots, so if this is in fact coming, just teleport me or let me sleep a few days straight so I can wake up and have those ready to go. And we might actually see the gunfight tournaments come back again, but again, that's a big May. There's no real information on that one, but just for quick reference sake, I wanted to throw that in there also. But anyways, that's the community update that we got as of yesterday, what's new and what we can expect, plus a little of my thoughts on the whole situation. Again, I'm always going to admit that I don't know what goes on behind the scenes because I'm not a part of it. I'm not a part of writing those notes, those community updates, so I truly don't know what goes into that, and same with development. I'm more than likely going to be understanding to any reason that may come up because, I mean, I just don't know. But yesterday, it was just a bummer, man. I do hope that in the future, this series, if it does continue to be a weekly thing, is something that provides more clarity, insight, and information on what's to come and what's happening behind the scenes. Because I think that that is honestly all that we as a community want at the very least. Obviously, like we discussed before, we want some changes to a lot of stuff, but the bare minimum, we just want to be able to have a conversation with the studio and have voices heard. Even if we can't get an explicit explanation or they don't have an answer yet, be blunt with us. I'd much rather have an I don't know, we're working on it, or a, hey, let me check up on that, or let me see what that's all about, anything than nothing at all. I think that we've seen community update series in the past do well for different studios. We just need to have something worthwhile, especially if people wait up for it. But anyways, that's my piece here with it. Here's to hoping this proves to be more valuable in the future than what we got yesterday, but until then, we press on. Double XP weekend is going on right now, which, by the way, holy ever living hell, if you guys are like me and working for camos or want to rank up, my goodness, take advantage of this, especially with the camo challenge, because your challenge tiers are based on weapon rank, so you can rank up as many weapons as you can to max, and I guarantee that you'll make plenty of progress towards gold, platinum, and Damascus that way. I unlocked 18 camos for the Dragunov in a single match yesterday, which then afterwards I've had on multiple different weapons, many more 10 plus camo games than I could have ever imagined. So grind it out if you have some time and if you're working towards it. And also, if you haven't hit 155, this is a great opportunity to do so and to net yourself that M91 variant that comes along with max rank. But anyways, that's where we're gonna wrap it up. So let me know your thoughts down there in the comment section down below. What do you guys think here of this? Are you guys in agreement, disagreement with whatever I said here with it, and maybe why? Let me know in the comments. But hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to drop a like down below, and of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Modern Warfare, updates, news, information, tips, tricks, all that good stuff. We got you covered here on the channel, so if any of that interests you, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing. If you guys also want to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram, those are the best places to get connected outside of YouTube. Probably live on both those. If you guys want to start up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, that link is down there in the description below. That said, thanks so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care, and peace.